My family's been asked to talk a little bit about what drum music means to us. We were supposed to take part in a drum making class that has been postponed and canceled, and so we've just been asked to talk about what drum drumming means to us. And I know singing uh, is important to me because it helps us preserve our languages. Not a lot of drum songs have words, but those songs that have words, they're special because not a lot of people remember those words anymore. It doesn't matter what language it is. A lot of these languages are dying. Singing drum with my family helps me to strengthen my language skills. I don't speak as well as I would like to. I'm trying, and they're trying. Our languages were illegal for a long time, until 1978, which was when my dad was in high school. He grew up speaking the language. He was encouraged not to speak the language because it made other people uncomfortable. His cousins who didn't speak, they were jealous or they were scared. I know his parents were scared, my grandparents. They were scared to let him speak the language because they thought he'd be taken from them. And enough of that, through however many years, my dad stopped speaking it. As my dad was raising us, um, he taught us to sing. And that was when I learned the language. Before I knew what any of these words meant, I knew how to say them. And I think that's important. Whether you know what you're saying or not, say those words. Ask someone, ask someone you trust, someone who you care about, your parents, your grandparents. Some of them remember the languages and they don't want to see it die. Drumming helps us keep our languages close to us. If you know the words you're singing, then you know the spirits you're bringing to the dance or to the ceremonies or whatever it is you happen to be singing for happiness, for sadness, for all of those things. We express it through our language and through song. And our languages, whether it be uh, Navajo, Paiute, for us, it's Assiniboine, Nakota. We're a long way from home, but singing helps us bring home to us.
I'm Tashiyapoba, Onoa runs through. My name means Song of the Meadowlark in Nakota. And throughout my life, that's been a really special name to me because I've always liked music, and making music with my family has been a big part of my life. So I just felt like the name was really fitting for me to be the song of a bird that's so beautiful that sings. So I was asked to talk a little bit about singing around the drum with my family and what that means to me. It just means like connecting, and having something that is bigger than yourself. Um, it has been hard to learn about my culture and my heritage, but it is something that's worth doing because it's a part of me that I want to enrich my life. Um, and it's something that I think is important for Native American people to do. It's a journey that all of us need to take. Try not to get too emotional, but as a Native American woman, I feel like this is the thing that I can do to preserve our culture and enrich my life. So, yeah.
Singing around the drum is like vulnerable for me. It's something that if these dogs would be um it's something that's vulnerable to me. I don't do it a whole lot because I'm not fully comfortable with that part of who I am yet. But I have always been called to the drum. It's something that's always called to me. Particularly like dancing is what it calls me to do. The drum reminds me of my family and my older brothers. For a lot of my siblings, it does remind them of our dad. Um, That's not quite something I don't think I'll ever feel, but I do associate it with strong male role models in my life, like my brothers. For a really long time in our house, we didn't do a whole lot of singing or dancing when my parents got divorced, because it was just really difficult for all of us. Less difficult for me because I don't have those memories attached to them, or at least I don't remember them. But it does remind me of family, and it reminds me of where I come from. And my brother sings a song. He's a folk punk artist. He sings a song about the drums calling him across the Great Plains, and that's what it does to me. It calls me home. And whether it's home in St. George, Utah, or home in northeastern Montana, it calls me. I really like listening to it too. So yeah, that's what the drum reminds me of.
Krishna